Hello, everybody, and welcome back once again to Embers and the Ashes. I think we're on season 2, episode 6 now. Once again, this is not my show, so I'm going to hand it over to Nathan. So go ahead, my bone.
All right, I appreciate it. Hey, what's going on, everybody? I'm Nathan. I use he, him pronouns, and I'm the narrator for this amazing group. I'm something like that. It's been a week, so I apologize if things seemed a little off. Seems you wouldn't think a week would throw me or anyone else off, and yet somehow it always does. We're going to go around and let everybody introduce themselves as who they are and who they'll be playing tonight, and then we'll jump into a downtime session for Blades in the Dark. Let's let Jacob go first.
Yo, good evening, everybody. My name is Jacob, Dual King Jacob on the internet. Both Eyes and I have he, him pronouns, and he is the group's slide, if I remember correctly. I never remember for some reason. There's a lot of things going on in both my and his head right now, so it's gonna be a wild one. And if you don't know what a slide is, it's a bit of a subtle manipulation and a bit of a spy stuff, but that is not what he's been about lately. But on the reckless side. So happy downtime day. Downtime day? I don't know how to word either. Everybody's
Happy downtime
fire.
day. That works too.
Happy downtime day.
We've just created a new Dustfall tradition. All right, thank you very much. Lynn, can you go next?
Hey, I'm Lynn, she, her, and I am playing Miss Corbin, the also she, her, the team spider, which is the manipulator and, users of bureaucracy to get what we want.
I noticed you said we. No, we'll just skip right over that.
We, yes. Of course, yes.
Just making sure I caught that correctly.
Everybody, we.
Triggered.
All right. Next, Hannah, can you go?
Hi, everybody. I'm Hannah, and I use she, her pronouns. I'm playing Miss Fritter tonight. She is our group's cutter, which means that she's really into scrapbooking, and she also uses she, her pronouns. So that's pretty much it.
I would both hate and love to see Miss Fritter's scrapbook. I'm not going to lie. Not going to lie. There's some interest there. Not sure I could look away. All right. And last but certainly not least, Saevrick.
Hi, Saevrick or Josh. Tonight I'll be playing Preacher, who's the group's whisper, and we both use he, him pronouns.
All right. So here in Embers and the Ashes, we do a kind of off and on session. We have a score, which has a lot of action and drama and whatever's going on, whatever the party is taken to doing for that round. It's kind of like the adventuring time. Then we have a downtime session, which have become a lot more drama than what I ever could imagine. And that's what makes them so great. So in this, we'll be doing some paperwork cleanup so we can share that with you all and working through some things. And then we'll be doing downtime actions, free scenes, and doing the odds and ends stuff, the decompress that these characters so amazingly need. I say all that, but somehow they always manage to kind of rev themselves up even more in this downtime than they do ever in my scores, and I absolutely adore it. So let's go through what happened last time. A older gentleman by the name of Bogenreef, who is the leader of a new faction named the Bonnies. They help the people of Dustwall with medicinal things, kind of like a free clinic, and go around helping the workers and things like that they can. They came to, Bogenreef came to Miss Corbin asking if she would be interested in helping procure a specific mushroom that was needed. Their colonies were all bought out. They were trying to figure out more information on how and why, but they had little colonies all across the city. Again, Dustwall's eternal night and eternal damp. So mushrooms are a big staple of just about everything when you don't have sunlight to grow things. But Bogenreef had asked that this mushroom mother colony be brought back to him. And the only catch was that it was in the Lost District. It was a district that had been lost to plague some 100 years ago and shut off from the lightning barrier, devoid of what they thought was any and all life. Our team went out to the Lost District and made their way to the aqueduct where the mother colony was supposed to be, found it, and tried to procure that mushroom colony but they ran into what they call the Spirit Panthers out there. And a fight ensued, and part of that brought in another faction that patrols the Lost District called the Silver Nails. Silver Nails are a mercenary company that patrol the Lost area. They're specifically set up to fight spirits. That's what they do. They even have horses, which is pretty rare in Dustfall. And these horses are specifically set up to fight spirits as well. So they're equal to the measure of the Lost District, and they do not like people coming in and hoarding on their territory. Our crew managed to deal with the panther and almost got away before someone's trauma came into effect, and they just had to poke at the Silver Nails. Now, they got away with it for now, but we'll see if there's any repercussions from that could possibly come up from the future. Anyone else remember anything else? I guess, yes, I do remember something else. There was a small boat ride that was taken, and all the characters took the boat ride out, but not all the characters took the boat ride back, but not all those characters made it home. We had one specific character who decided to continue on the boat ride along with their underling Days, and who knows where we find that person now. We'll see, I guess. So let's go over our paperwork real quick, and then we'll start with any free scenes and go around into our downtime actions. And again, as I tell my players and tell you all the downtime actions they can take, they can acquire, each person gets 2. And then Miss Corbin has the ability to give someone a 3rd, which is always handy. They can, on these downtime actions, they can acquire an asset, work on a long-term project, recover healing, reduce heat, train, or indulge their vice, which reduces their stress. So each player kind of looks and see what they think would work for their character, whether it's working on a project or trying to get someone for their next big score, or it's the reduction of healing or even stress, which I know a lot of these characters have. So let's go through the rest of it. Payoff for this, we need to roll 3d6. We need to roll d6 for the track. We need to roll a d6 for the vice den, and we need to roll a d6 for zaps for the sparks to light. So we need to roll that first off, so I'll be rolling that. 3d6, go away. What did I roll? 5, a 4, and a 1. So a little better than usual, but or the last time, that's good. So 10 coin to start with between the 4 of you. And remember, each one of you can hold 4 coin on your person. You can keep 4, I believe, in the let me double check something. Is it still 4 in the vault? Yep, which is full. And then you can hold some more coin on you, or you can use it to basically put that in your retirement fund, which is in your stash, in your specific stash. That money is what you would live off of once you either retire or are pushed out of the game by trauma or physical injury. So you have 10. What would you all like to do with it?
Even split, and then one for the crew, or for our vault, maybe.
Or maybe Days.
Yeah.
Give Days 1. All right, so if you give Days 1, you all take 8. That still leaves 1 more. You could keep one in I could say you can keep one in petty cash, and if you end up spending it tonight on the downtime action, why worry about it when someone could spend it? So I think that's perfectly fine if you want to. That's not what you're supposed to do, but whatever. We'll do what we want to do. Yeah. Blades is a city of scoundrels. Who cares about the rules?
We're the boss.
Who cares? You make a game about breaking the rules. I'm going to break the rules. All right.
Right.
So that's payoff for that. Does anyone remember what we agreed to as the payoffs for this one?
I don't remember that.
That's a good question. I did not write that down.
I did not write that down. Bad GM 101 for Nathan, minus 2 points.
Are you talking about what our reward was going to be from?
Yes. From Bowengrief.
I thought he was going to let us have some of them.
He was. Yes. Okay.
Yeah.
So, okay. So here's what you can do. we'll because you grabbed something, he was going to let you have something. We could discuss how you want to. You can either sell it, and we could roll a tier roll. You all are tier 1, which give you 1 die. I would let someone use an ability if they want to try to sell this in some way, and then whatever the highest roll is how much coin you get for it. Or you can basically make a long-term project and plant them somewhere and act like it's going to be another D6 type thing. So once you get we'll do like a 4-turn clock, and once the clock fills up, that would add another D6 of revenue that you would get. So I'll let you all just choose how you want to do it.
I'm up for that, just for the fact that whoever's been messing with this, if they get rid of the Bonnie supply, we'll have some.
Yeah, wasn't it
Backup.
like it was like find out like who's get rid of who's doing it, but also like wasn't it like extra if we brought some back? I think
He said
I could be misremembering.
he asked, no, I think it was the opposite. He wanted you to bring
Opposite,
some
yeah.
back, and he was trying to figure out who was buying up the supply.
Got it.
And
Okay,
he was going to
got it.
continue to look into that and was going to come back to you all, and he will come back to you all
Okay.
tonight.
Okay, cool, good to know.
All right. So whoever wants to can, during this downtime action or any downtime action that we do, can set up a 4-turn clock, and anyone can put in on this 4-turn clock. And then once it's complete, at the next downtime, I will add a D6. If you choose not to do it tonight, choose to do it the next downtime, then the one after that is when I'll add the D6.
Okay,
That work?
That works
perfect.
fine.
I think that's fair. Okay, so there's that. Heat. Heat is basically after a score conflict with an opponent, the crew takes heat. Heat is how much high profile they're going to be, or the wanted level, basically with the blue coats and the other factions to see how bad it is. So 0 heat is smooth and quiet, low exposure. 2 heat is contained, standard exposure. 4 is loud and chaotic, high exposure, and 6 is wild, devastating exposure.
Sounds like a 4.
I was actually going to be a lot more generous than that. So you all, what do you all think? I'll let you.
What was 3 and what was 4 again?
So 0 heat is smooth and quiet, low exposure. 2 heat is contained, standard exposure. 4 is loud and chaotic, high exposure. We also have to remember this was in the Lost District. This was not in Duskfall proper.
Yeah, I'd say 2.
While that's true, wasn't there like a dog chasing us for part of this, and like people riding on horseback shouting after
The Silver
us?
Nails, yes, the Silver Nails were absolutely after you all. And I think as part of that, what I'll do is we'll do 2 heat standard exposure, contained standard exposure. We'll do 2, because there was gunfire, there was some things like that. I did not have a high profile. The heat situation did not happen on hostile turf. There actually was no killing of people involved, which is a rare thing with you all. And no one's at war. So I'll do this.
Could I argue that I would agree with the 2 normally, but the fact that Eyes decided to go back and take a pot shot at him and draw their attention even further
Well, let's talk about that. Let's
makes
talk
me lean
about
to a
that.
3.
So I think let me prolong this at you. Pontificate upon this, my friends. What if it's 2, and then we switch right over to faction mode, and we look down to the Silver Nails, which are a tier 3, and we do a big fat -1 with the Silver Nails.
That sounds.
I think is the right way.
That sounds appropriate. for
Sounds
what we did.
terrible, but we'll go with it.
So now you have the Silver Nails at -1. -1 means they don't like you. They would go out of your way. They would try to do something to you if they can. -2 means they will go out of their way to try to hurt you. And -3 means you're at war with someone. So the
Can't
Silver
get
Nails
-3.
know who you are and what's going on, and they do not like you.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's a fair compromise, because it basically specifically was just the Silver Nails.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, but let's go back to heat real quick. So for heat, I hold you all at 1 heat with a 2 wanted level.
Yes.
Okay, so we're going to add 2 more, so you're going to go up to 3 heat.
Cool.
Oh, that stays.
We'll do that little. We'll surprise you all with something here in a little bit. That's great. All right, entanglements. we don't worry about it with entanglements with you all because you entangle yourself enough as it is. You all are very good about jumping into other things and getting everybody involved. Entanglements are used basically to kind of help spurn RP and get people all together, and we don't have that worry. And I just found them with you all. We talked about with you all. They never seem to work. You all have plenty of things to do on your own. The last thing we need to do is XP. So for your own individual XP, you're each going to get a standard 4, which can be used for playbook advancement or for any of your attribute advancement. Also, take note, and I hope you have, that if you roll a desperate action, you get a tick in that attribute automatically. And then eyes will get 1 more for the trauma, for invoking the trauma reckless against the silver nails.
Ooh.
So something else we have talked about that we would like to do is right now the cast of characters that is the Ash Syndicate are these 4, but we know that there are others in the background, and we want to bring them out a little more into play and kind of make them seem more to life. So in order to do that, here's what I've done in my other game, and it seems to work pretty well, is as a main character in any score, and as players, you have the ability to, if you want to play a different character for a score or whatever, you always have that right and that ability. If you, as a main character in a score, you get 4 XP. So anyone that comes to the score will get XP and does the score. Then we're going to add on 2 other things. We're going to add on secondary actions if you choose, and we can talk about this more offline. But secondary actions are when you want to accomplish something that basically let the NPCs take over. You designate who's going to be taking that over, and then we set 2 clocks and use attributes to see which clock goes first. So if, say, you all as the 4 main characters wanted to break into someone's home, but you also wanted to have some of your other group protect the hideout, against the silver nails. The silver nails are coming. So you say, we agree who's going to go on the first score, the primary mission, and then we make the other one the secondary mission. And Band of Blades does this well. It's kind of where I got this from. The secondary mission is we designate who's going to be on it, and we set up 2 clocks that will race back and forth using whoever you all choose to be on that score. We'll do dramatic tasks. We'll say, here's what the role is. Here's what I'm going to do to accomplish it. And then we'll see which clock fills up faster. I can share all the nitty-gritty rules later. No big deal. So as part of that, whatever clock fills up faster, what happens? Maybe our group wins and they defeat the Silver Nails, or maybe our group loses and the Silver Nails get a hold on Night Market or something like that. Those are all things that can happen. So if you have a person that's a part of one of those, they'll get 2 XP. And lastly is 1 XP. If you want to bring in a character to help you with an assist, or to help, excuse me. My family came in to tell me they love me, and I love them too.
Oh, yay!
I wasn't prepared for that. So finally, if you want to bring in someone just to work an assist or to do a setup action, you can bring in one of your other characters to do a setup action, but they can partake of the harm or stress or whatever else it comes. And if you do that, they get 1 XP. So it's kind of a rotating system. But in case Eyes had a level 3 harm, and you didn't want to use him for a session, you wanted to let him just sit, then you could pick up someone else and use them. All characters that are in the main session primary mission will get 2, and if they're in the secondary or they're brought in, will get 1 downtime action. So you still have the ability to heal or take de-stress or do something like that, but you're a little more protected in another way. So I'll share more this week, but just as characters we'll be talking about, we may be bringing in, you may start to hear others' names, and the players may be bringing in some more characters to talk to kind of broaden the story a little bit. All right, sorry, I wasn't prepared to talk that much. Last, and then we'll get to the fun stuff, is XP for the group. Crew mode XP. So last time you all gained a crew advancement, and you chose to gain a cohort. This that we're providing, this other group of cast of characters, is going to be your cohort. So they can act as a cohort whenever you want, and there'll be a tier 1 cohort that can be used to do a secondary mission of some kind. It's kind of what enables all this. But for this one, did you execute a successful espionage, sabotage, or theft? Yes.
Absolutely.
Did you contend with challenges above your current station? I say yes.
Because they're a higher tier?
The Silvernails are a higher tier, and you dealt with them and the Panthers at the same time. So I think if you dealt with them individually, no. But because you dealt with them all together, I say yes. Did you bolster your crew's reputation or develop a new one? Reminder, your reputations are ambitious and ruthless.
I think the same.
I think that's a hard one. It's a hard
Yeah.
sell.
Yeah,
I'm
it's a
gonna go
hard
with
sell.
no.
I'm gonna say no. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I don't
Alright,
think
so
anything
for the
changed.
Yep, for the light of everything, I don't think so, and I would agree. The last is express the goals, drives, inner conflicts, or essential nature of the crew. That's an easy one. Basically, it's just are you maintaining as a crew? And I think the drives and inner conflicts were 100% there. So it's going to be 3 for crew advancement this time.
Sweet.
Cool.
All right. So now we begin downtime. And we'll go round table with everyone doing downtime actions. Everyone will get to talk to one, and they can also. This group is known now for having side conversations, where they expand upon plot or ask questions or do whatever they possibly can. We are going to be doing this a little different, maybe because of where some of the PCs are, where one of the PCs is, but we'll get to that and see what happens. All right, who's first up for a downtime action? Who wants to start us off? Oh, somebody did the nose goes. See, I know what that one is.
I'll go. I don't care.
Okay, Josh did the goes. Saevrick. All right, so what do we find Preacher doing? What is you came back from the Lost District? It kind of was pretty tense on the boat. It kind of was pretty tense after the boat. There were some questions and things that happened even after that. Where does Preacher find himself?
I think Preacher might actually find himself back at that old church one more time. I think he's gonna take a getaway from his usual apartment. I can't remember the name of who was there before. Mother something.
Yeah, see, now you're going to make me pull way back in the notes.
Yeah,
Is it Emily?
That sounds right.
it might be.
I have absolutely no notes in front of me, so that was totally pulled out of my ass. So I could be wrong.
Hey, you know what?
Your
I
name
actually
now?
don't remember. I'll be honest with you.
I probably need to make a who's who, and I keep telling myself I will do that, but anxiety and depression are bad combination. All right, we're going to go with Mother Emily.
Okay.
And you had previous conversation with Mother Emily. You had come to her it's a small chapel, run down, pretty dingy, but she does what she can for the people around her and helps out all she can. You used to frequent this place quite a bit, either listening to traveling people talk about pontifications or whatever they might want to talk about that week. Again, there's no real organized religion, but it almost seemed like a place where you could have some quiet meditation. It's more, I think about it more meditation than preaching. And Mother Emily is there to look after the location and to assist people as she can. In a downtime last session, you overrolled on a vice and basically burned the bridge. She and you had a conversation about trying to save Ezekiah, and what that meant to you. Were you saving him? Were you saving you? What was going on? And I think as part of that, Preacher walked away, and we agreed that you wouldn't go back last season to this place, but now it's a new season. Mother Emily, you see, is when you come to her, she's probably sweeping the floor, just cleaning up after some people that have just left. And without even looking up, she says, come in, have a seat. If you require anything, please just let me know." And continues sweeping.
Does she even recognize me? Or
I don't think
does she
she's
look
looked up, but when you step in, she will recognize you, yes.
I wouldn't say I step in. I'm saying I'm probably like tripping in.
Okay.
Because Preacher is completely inebriated. So his shoes are scuffing against the stones. He's disheveled. He probably leans against a pew, and there's that sound as he pushes it away from him as he tries to keep his weight on it.
I think she looks up and sees a man tripping and stumbling in, and may think that you're hurt almost, and like the broom clatters to the floor with that loud crack, and she runs up. Are you okay? Oh, you are Preacher?
Oh, it's good to see you too, Mother.
Can you? I would say it's good to see you. Can you even see me in this state that you're in?
I just need to sit down for a second, if you don't mind.
You need something more powerful than Seaton, but let's start there. She kind of, I think it helps you sit in that same pew that you kind of push to the side a little bit. She sits you down, and she goes over and sits on a pew kind of catty corner to you. Mm-hmm. And in the way of the most patient people ever, she just sits and is quiet and is there in your presence and is waiting for you.
He'll probably fumble into his jacket and pull out the flask, sort of undo it. I'm sorry it's been so long since I've been back. I think I'm living in a dream.
A dream, you say?
Sort of looks up bleary-eyed, red. His eyes are just bloodshot, like he hasn't slept all night. Like I can't get out of the past. I'm still hurting my kid. And I don't know of any other way to handle it.
Are you still on the same path you were when you came before?
I am on the same path, but he is on one of the completely different one.
And what took him to that path?
Sort of leans back. This lifestyle, this family, whatever you want to call it, sort of wipes the sweat, dirt from his face. His path is the same as mine now, I think. But we're traveling in opposite directions.
Do you partake out of jealousy, or do you partake out of anger that he chose something you would not choose for him?
I didn't put my life or those of my friends in the way for him to throw away what he was given. But on the other hand, If it hadn't been for me to begin with, I already stole his future once. And here I am trying to steal it again. I'm carrying all that weight. And I don't know how to let go of it.
The boy makes choices just as we all do, yes? And that's not your weight to hold.
If it wasn't for me, he wouldn't be on this path to begin with. And now it's my fault that he is. Or isn't. It takes a long, long drink. I remember the last time I came in here, I said I wasn't sure if I was going to have to save him or kill him. But I'm starting to think that a killing's a mercy in this case.
Are you looking to kill because you can't control?
I know what power that he has without focus comes to be. It's just two sides of the same coin at this point.
I guess each of us has weights we bear, and each day in the city in Duskfall is a flip of the coin.
How do you not live with regret?
Her eyes go a little wide and she starts to laugh. Just a laugh like you've probably never heard from her. Just like she heard the funniest joke ever, and I won't begin to do that here and upset y'all's eardrums, but after a minute she kind of catches her breath and she Preacher, we all deal with that. How are you any different? You cannot take the weight of the world on your shoulders. You control what you control, and let others' decisions control them. You speak of paths. Sometimes we're just put on paths. Life's not fair. You know this. You know this.
His path puts him in the way of my target, of my pistol, of my group's ire.
That sounds like a decision will need to be made on which family you plan on being with.
See, I think they all think that I'm crazy or not trying to be a good father in this case, and maybe I'm not. I don't fucking know at this point. I just know that if he walks out in those streets for some other gang, there's a good chance he's gonna catch a bullet from either us or someone else. He won't listen to me.
No, I understand. My own very rarely listen to me, even though I think that I'm quite reasonable about things. Maybe it's the mushroom doesn't grow too far from the colony in some cases. I would say this: you can only control your actions. and how you deal with things. You cannot control his. His situation is his own, and someday he'll have to come to that reckoning. Just as you will with yours, just as I will with mine.
And if we're both to stand on that corner, facing one another as enemies, what then?
I think both of your lives are over. One way or the other. But you have to decide whether your life is worth being taken, knowing that in doing so, what harm it does to him, or if you can live with taking your son's life.
Mother, I think I've been a ghost for a very, very long time.
Ghosts have their uses.
That they do.
Why don't you lay here and do some thinking? I'll lock the door so you have some peace and quiet.
If they come looking for me, just can you run them off? I just need to be away from them for a while.
I don't know who they are, but it doesn't matter. When you're here and you want the privacy and the meditation, you certainly have it. I think she gets up and kind of walks back, and you hear the latch of a large bolt kind of being thrown up the door, the ka-chunk. And she kind of walks down back your direction. I think she reaches, you see this to the side, your side vision. She reaches out her hand to put her hand on your shoulder and hesitates. Just lets it sit there for a brief amount of time and slowly pulls her hand back and says, "Good night, preacher."
He'll probably just take his jacket off and curl it up into like a makeshift pillow, throw it down on there, and probably draw one of his pistols and just sort of lay back on it, pressed across his chest.
Okay. Anything else?
Nope. That's all.
All right. Mechanically, are we doing stress relief?
That was what I was trying to do. Yeah.
Indulge your vice. All right, so let's roll to indulge your vice, which rolls against the lowest attribute that a person has, and we'll take. You are currently at 9 stress. Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so you cannot overindulge. You can only roll a maximum of a 6. Vice is a 4 and a 2, so you're going to go down to 5 stress.
Hey. Nice.
Remember, you can always. Oh, it's a 4 to 5. So it wouldn't really. I mean, you could pay to re-roll it if you like. I'm not sure it's worth it.
I don't think it's worth it either.
Okay. All right. Cool. Thank you. So we'll leave Preacher. The camera fades out from Preacher taking a nap on a pew. Who's next?
I can go next.
Sounds good.
Ice has we have a guest that is in a been sitting around for probably a day or two, maybe a little longer, and I'd like to see if it's possible for me to get some solo transportation, but it's a small carriage enough to fit a human-sized box, and I need to take it to a dock, preferably late at night, for some private time.
Okay. This is Moretta, I'm assuming, the scientist?
Am I muted or are you muted? Oh, my headset just... Hold on one sec.
Okay, I don't think I'm muted. Maybe, am I muted? No, okay. I don't want to say something stupid.
There we go.
More than normal.
Yeah, my headset just disconnected. Give me 1 sec.
Okay, yep, all good.
Okay, let's try that one more time.
Talking. Words are great. Words are wonderful. I'm good with the words.
All right, cool. I think. All right, now it's connecting. I think. All right. Well, in the meantime, while I'm waiting for that to do its thing. Yeah, it's still saying it's connecting. So screw it.
Okay.
Go for it.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah.
Okay. I could be on the commercial. See, I got a face for radio. Anyway, all right. So this is Moretta, the scientist, correct?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So we didn't talk about this as a group. Is the group wanting to talk to her? And we can always do the flashback. This can happen. Whatever happens with eyes can happen before or after this discussion. Sorry, my camera went blurry. I thought technology, gotta love it. See, face for radio. Anyway, does the group wish to speak to Moretto? So no from Preacher. Miss Corbin, do you?
Sure. You know what? Nah, I think she's busy. She's busy doing other things at the moment. So.
Okay, so this is, you all have left Moretta's fate to Eyes' hands. Am I understanding that correctly? Sounds wonderful. All right, so, what do you want mechanically from this downtime? Let me start. I usually end there, but I will start there for a very specific reason.
I figured you might. This is part of my final culprit clock. No
Okay.
doubt.
All right. So this is find the person that is
after
Joseph.
My kiddo.
Okay.
But it's also kind of piecemealed with like there we go. You know some things about me that I don't.
Right. This is a personal call as well. Okay. So let's go ahead and roll. What tact are you going to take? What attribute are you going to use with her? What tact are you going to take?
I'm gonna try to swear. We're gonna get with my dulcet tones.
Okay.
And see what she has to say. And then we'll. But I'm also, as you can obviously tell, preparing for after that.
Okay. So let's roll the sway to see what mechanically you'll get from your how many ticks of the clock are you on now?
I have 2 out of 6.
2 out of 6. Okay. So go ahead and roll up your sway. Let's see how many ticks you get and how much closer you get to finding the culprit.
Okay.
A 5. A 5 is 2 ticks.
Okay. Cool.
So what she's going to give you is some background information, but she cannot give you where they are right now. Does that make sense? Is that going to make sense?
Yeah. Yeah. Good to know. So I'll just to give you kind of just setting the scene a little bit.
Yep, please.
So I'm essentially taking her and her Voximus Prime self out to a pretty empty dock, and I think she's still tied up. So I'm actually gonna take a knife, and I'm actually gonna cut the box open just so she can see, and I'll just say, "Have a seat."
I think her eyes are adjusting to even the little bit of dim light that there is. The waves are lapping up, and as she looks around the dock and she hears boats passing on up ahead, but there's very little conversation. Basically, this is one of those places where people avoid just so everyone knows that you can do things like this in this location. So it's kind of the known quiet place, so to speak. And she looks around and she says, "Just you?"
Just me. Have a seat. And like where we're at is like the end of the pier.
Okay. She, without a care in the world, turns around, kind of stretches a little bit. She says, "I was tied up for a long time. Old ladies like myself, it's hard on us."
Yeah, sorry about that. there's been a lot of commotion lately, and I didn't have a chance to have a chat with you. So, um,
And just so I'm clear, is this chat like, is this chat a tell me what you need to know before I'm no longer here chat? Or is this a chat where I possibly walk away from at the end?
well, the jury is out.
Okay, I'll I'll take that. And
It's a
she
nice
seems
place.
pretty much resigned to whatever, she's like, okay.
So he'll look at her. What do you know about me? Just based off of physical look. What do you know?
I think she smiles real big and says, "You were my first success. How could I forget?"
Okay. Now, congratulations, I suppose. But I think I'm misinformed, and we're here tonight to resolve that because I was of the impression that it was simply a, we'll say for the sake of simplicity, a removal and replacement from an optical perspective. But based off of what I know now, I think I'm beginning to question, quite frankly, my what I think or what I know to be my existence.
She giggles a little bit and almost like a schoolgirl way, and it's just like, no, 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 no. Nothing so mundane as a optical switcheroo or whatever you just said. No, no, no. I worked many years to get the lenses just right that were needed for this. Do you remember before when you came to well, when you did not come to me, when you were brought to me blind, could not see anything because of some accident or something, I don't know.
It's fuzzy.
Yes, I was asked to help you see again. I have been working on some things, purely mechanical, glasses and such. But again, the limits were very, very clear on what could be done and what could not be done. And so it was agreed that you would be a test subject, so to speak, as you were willing at the time, or you were willed. Yes, Rigney said that he would do whatever.
Hmm.
Rigney said he would do whatever to get your sight back, and so he allowed me to operate and put the spirit lenses in your eyes. I take it they work. Yes, you can see. Yes,
Magnificent. Magnificently. Better than ever. But
see.
then it seems you weren't quite satisfied with just one customer, were you?
No,
You
no,
needed
no.
to
Who
do
is
more?
once you've tasted success, you have to keep pushing the bounds. I
That's
had
why dessert
to
is bad for you.
I had to make sure that, well, you see, you weren't my only success. You were the first. And then there was a failure. A failure unlike any other. And I had to make sure that that failure didn't happen again. Yes.
I kind of like take out like a kind of a crude kind of charcoal like drawing of what Joseph's seen.
Hmm.
I just slap it like on the ground. Was that your failure or was that a success?
Without looking more at who it is, I would say, well, it looks like you. It looks like your eyes. I've done that now for several others. Is there
How
more
many
to
is
this?
several?
Well, there's
Yes.
there's other people that have had issues like yours, either through their eyes or ears or nose or different spirits can power different types of senses. It's not just optical. I have been working to try to get that pinpointed better. so as to understand the power that the spirits are able, what they're able to provide, and what they want. Sometimes little things can be had, and they don't want much. They want to experience life. They want to, as in your case, you understand how they work. That the spirits see what you see. You use the spirits' eyes in place of yours, right?
That's the assumption that I've made recently, but one that I haven't really confirmed until it just left your mouth.
Well,
Really?
that happens for you and for others in different ways, but it wasn't always the case. Sometimes the spirits wanted more, and I had to make sure that that didn't happen again.
Would there be a reason that someone would want to, specifically with my enhancement, if you will, that someone would be upset with me? Want to do harm to me and my family?
Nothing like tying an old woman up in a chair in the middle of the night and leaving her for days on end tied up. That makes me want to hurt you, I'm not going to lie. But if you've done that to other people, then yes, probably. But as for this procedure, no.
Okay.
In fact, I don't keep record of who you are or what happens. I don't want to know.
That's probably smart. Hell, I even respect the fact that you're not really scared about what happens next. You're quite brave for an old woman.
I've lived my life and many others, and done what I can during my time. If I get to choose, if I choose the face I make as I leave this world and enter the spirits, I've dealt with them enough to know that it's not so bad.
She kind of nods. Well, you don't seem to know who, which is fine. But is there anywhere for me to find out this information for myself?
Tell me more about this person besides the eyes. Do you have anything else?
No. Let's see. What do I have written down here?
So out of character, you remember they climb really well. They're able to get around. They've left claw marks, indentions. They scraped into hard glass. They were walking around without being seen, basically
Yeah.
without even taking notice. There's some very non-human ways that they're around. I just don't know how much you would like to share with her.
All of it. And I'll kind of add to that and say, I thought it was just someone. We live a very complicated life, and I just thought it was someone that was trying to come after the family, and that I just simply take care of and move on. But it seems it's something of a more spiritual nature, and that's not really my cup of tea. And well, that's why we're having this conversation.
She, as you describe the things that this person can do, that they can do, realization dawns on her face, and she can't hide it from you. She's not a trained person that can do that kind of stuff. She says, if you have drawn desire, then you're already dead. You're as dead as I am right now. It's just a choice, just like your choice on when to kill me. It's his choice on when he kills you. And I don't know what you have done, but it is not good.
And who's he?
He is my failure. He is the person that made me go down this road and made me want to stop many times. But so that I do not make another one of him, I continue. His name is Marley. He came to me a long time ago. He and someone else, I don't know. It didn't matter. Marley was the only one that ever talked. They wanted to They wanted to work with the spirits. They knew the spirits were out. They wanted to gain power from the spirits. And I took it in ways like yours, the lenses, the aqua devices, as those type of things. He wanted more. He wanted, she kind of looks, he wanted to become a vampire. But he did not want to go through the rituals and spells in order to do so. He wanted to become as close as he could to a vampire by using spirits around him. So he draws them to himself and powers off of those spirits. She says, I have done very bad things in my life. Very bad things. But none of it holds a candle to what he is doing.
Is he after you too?
She laughs. Again, my life is his anytime he wants to come take it. I'm just so insignificant that it hasn't been worth it.
Damn. That's a shame.
Now, I can't go after him. I can't do anything about him. Are you going to?
With every fiber of my being.
Would you like to make a deal?
You know, it's really amazing. I had to be just between us.
I think she looks around at that. It's like, yeah, who else is out here?
And I like flip out my knife. This is going right between sever your aorta. It was supposed to be quick and easy and simple. Because every time that I've been nice, it has befallen myself and my comrades. It's always been the wrong chess move. And I think I'm about to make the wrong chess move again. So what's your fucking deal?
I'll give you something to fight him. But I need to get back to my lab. I need to create something.
How long will that take you?
Not terribly long. It's something I've dreamed of for a long time. I just couldn't put it into action.
He stands up. He cuts the rope. To your lab, then.
Okay. All right. So Moretta lives on for now. Let's see how that works out. All right, who's next?
I can go. It shouldn't be too long.
All right, Miss Corbin, what are you doing?
Oh, this is a follow-up meeting with what's his name? Logan Reef on our business.
Yes, yeah.
But mechanically this is going to be leading into a gather information.
Okay. Yep. Sure. So you go back to the track, and at the bar in the same seat he was sitting earlier, Bogan Reef is sitting, stroking Piper, the Death Seeker crow, feeding the bird probably small mushrooms or something, basically like the bar snacks, supposedly. He's kind of sitting there and is feeding Piper. Look at this good bird. You're such a good bird. I can't believe how great you are for me and me for you. And Piper just kind of plumes their feathers out and gives the crow the crow caws. And I think when you walk in, Piper's beak kind of points to you, and Bogan Reef says, "Ah, so she is here. Good."
I suppose they have taken good care of you here.
Absolutely, as they did last time, and you promised me they would, and indeed they have.
Oh, excellent. How? And she'll sit down and put her briefcase on the table. How is the supply going?
Well, since
As
you all
expected?
Yes, since you all have provided us with the mother colony, we have planted its roots deep and are waiting to see some harvest. We have been hard at work trying to find some other remedies and some other things, and I also have been hard at work getting the information you sought.
Hopefully there will be no problem with us having a emergency supply, and you'll have access in case anything happens. That is why I'm here.
I think he strokes Piper's bill and down its beard. No, we don't see any problem with that.
Yes, can't be too careful considering the competition around and their interest.
Speaking of competition, I have some information for you.
Well, be glad to hear it.
I think this is where we're going to need a roll.
Okay.
Let's see how much information he has.
All right. It's gonna be a sway. Not sway. Consort.
Consort. Yeah, if you want, if you know him, so if you want to use consort, I think that's perfectly fine.
And you know what? I will make a little bit of a donation to their activities.
Okay.
Measure of good faith.
Can you pay a coin?
Yep, pay a coin.
Okay. And is this going against an existing clock?
No, this is going for information about who is the activities that are going around Charter Hall. This thing, she has suspicions. She wants confirmation of those suspicions, and specifically around Farnsworth, and she now has suspicions about Ezekiah as well. So that those are things she's floated.
Okay.
Specifically.
All right, so let's see what information I can give you. Roll consort and grab an extra die. Come on, 6.
Okay, 5. 5 is fine.
5 plus 1 is 6. It's close enough. I always hate it is when I listen to someone as a GM who they roll low and they're like, "Oh, I can't give you that information." I'm like, "But why? Then you don't give it to anybody. Like, that's no fun." But I understand the dice roll. All right, so let's give you what I can. He says, Booger Reef says, it seems some industrious students have broken away from their studies and have formed some little group called the Needles. They are for hire and seem to be trying out some sabotage and assassinations, even different things like this. They at this point in time, they are ill-fitted and ill-directioned. They really do not know which way they go or what. But there is also 2 more pieces to this puzzle, and I'm sure you've put it together by now. This mushroom colony that you provided to me. And I think he holds out his hand, and a little one, like the little one that he has, appears. He said, the first off the new colony. He says, this, well, in too much, in too fine a form, can be a poison. It can hurt as well as heal. Work as a slow the heart, so much so that you never even see it coming. You've found out that may be their dealings. And, well, what brings them to mind is it seems that some noble has put forth the idea of helping this young band of ruffians and is backing them. And that is the person that has purchased the mushroom farms, driven us from what we had before.
I care relatively little about the rabble. I'm more concerned about who their benefactors any more information on that?
I'm afraid I do not have that. I just know that they are out there. And I would beware of rabble. They seem to sneak into the most dedicated of places.
Oh, I know about sneaks. I know about them very well. I do have my own people for that, so I am not underestimating them. I am just more interested in who is supplying and pointing them in certain directions. Because depending on who it is, it could mean consequences for not just you, but your little organization here and the good that they do.
Oh, I understand. I hope to stay out of the radar and off the beaten path, so to speak, until we can be up and running again helping people. But this has absolutely taken a dent into what we can do.
I will tell you that I would rather deal with them sooner or later before they get more entrenched and decide to make larger moves on this. But your information has been helpful. Thank you very much. If you find anything else, or vice versa, if you need anything from us, I'd be glad to share what we can.
Absolutely. I look forward to working, and he kind of strokes Piper again, we look forward to working with you all again. And if we happen to come across information, I'll be sure to share it.
Of course. Enjoy your time. Anything else you need? You know the arrangement.
Kind of nods his head, and his unseeing eyes go back to Piper, and he kind of preens and strokes Piper just as Piper kind of announces that you're up and leaving. Yes, goodbye. All right. So you have some information, not all the information because you didn't roll a 6, but it should give you a good hint on where we're going with that. All right. Last character, Miss Fritter. Mechanically, what do you want to be doing mechanically?
I think that's kind of a TBD.
Okay.
To be honest. Ideally, I don't think that she's going to lose stress or anything at this point.
Does she have any wounds?
She does.
Would you like Days to help you with the healing clock?
No.
Okay.
Days is not staying.
Okay. So would you like to do the RP scene?
Yeah.
Or do you want to wait?
We can do an RP scene. That'd be fine.
Okay. So we find ourselves in a boat, the same boat that took our crew away back. Took our crew to and back from the lost ward. Was unloaded and then loaded right back up with Days and Miss Fritter. And it is making its way up the river channels and canals, deeper into the heart, more toward Brightstone, more toward the ocean to the coast. And in Miss Fritter's hand, she holds a small note. And as the camera pans down to it, it just says, "Can we talk? M." And some coordinates. Is Miss Fritter doing anything to prepare for this talk?
Days followed the instructions he was given and brought several pieces of luggage. She is changing into very formal attire, corseted gown, the boots, jewelry, things that she would never wear normally, as he is coasting into the dock.
Okay. The dock that he ends up putting the coordinates, he kind of looks at it a couple of times and looks at it in the light and goes, "This doesn't make much sense. It's not a location. What's that?" And he points up into the middle of the river channel, and it's a group of boats that has been marooned together. It's like a shipwreck up on a shipwreck up on a shipwreck. And so he quietly kind of shuts off everything and rows gently up to the side of it. There's not much of a dock. There's just a tie-off spot. and he says, "This is the coordinates that he gave."
Okay. Fritter will pull herself up to whatever kind of platform is available, and then once she's stable, she'll take a small bag from Days and give him a final look and just tell him to go back to Crowsfoot.
He says, "When am I coming to get you?"
If I come back, I won't need you to help me come back. So I'll find a way back. You can go back.
I don't think the magnitude of what could be the situation hits him, and he kind of says, "Okay, that sounds good, boss. See ya tomorrow."
Days, do you remember what I told you, though? Not to... What I told you if anybody asks about me?
Yeah, boss. I remember.
Okay.
You can tell him yourself next time you see him.
Okay.
And he undoes the rope, backs the boat out, and kind of see him putter off in. From inside, as you kind of look around, you see that there is a walkway into these shipwrecks, and kind of someone's almost put things together and moved walls inside. You can see there's a curtain, and inside it sounds like music. It sounds like a violin of some kind of playing. A soft melody, and through that you see the flicker of candlelight.
I follow.
Okay. In as you follow in, you see sconces along the wall. There are small candles that flame, and leads out into a small but nice dry room that has a meal kind of prepared with candles. Not romantic, but just like around the outside. Some plates are set, just nice everyday type things. A little bit nicer than what they would be, but not like a formal dinner. And a tall man greets you from across the room and says, "Fritter, I'm glad you came. We have much to discuss." His eyes glow eerie as he looks at you.
Marley, it's been too long.
That it has. I have been trying to get your attention for some time. Do you care to eat? Yes?
Sure.
Think he comes in and sits down and kind of rings a bell, and there's a hull that comes kind of wheels through with a couple of plates, sits down a plate in front of him, and then sits down a plate in front of you. And it's something that you would have had at a meal you prepared for him one time when he and Harlow were celebrating something at your house. The first big win of you all as a group. The first, the apartment complex that you first purchased together, and everything looked so right in the world. Everything looked up, and you homemade something. You made a meal for them, and that you all sat down and talked about the future and how great it was going to be.
Marley
What was it?
remembered. I think it's like panther tartare or something like super
Yeah.
grotesque. And,
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's something that you all probably had. You didn't even want to eat it. It's kind of like me eating snails. It's like, oh, look, these great snails. And I'm like, well, it sounds delicious. I'll try one. But yeah, so he says, we remember. Yes, we do.
What's brought you out from the woodwork these days?
Lots of things bring me out from the woodwork. But, well, plans are in motion. Things are made. Things continue on. I miss discussing things with you. I miss talks. We haven't talked besides at the dearly departed's gravesite, we haven't talked before then in years.
Well, Harlow dying was a lot. still feels like it was yesterday.
This is tragic. Just tragic. Yes, it shouldn't have happened. It shouldn't have happened at all, and those responsible need to pay for it. That's part of what I've been doing, you know.
I don't know.
I guess maybe you don't. I needed to create some distance between you and I, as I did not know who the target was besides your departed husband. I wanted to try to get the attention on me and not you. But in doing so, I had to do things to myself that I'm not proud of to gain the power and what was needed to get the job done, as you saw. In order to have a society where we're not trampled upon, we have to remove the people that would trample upon us. And that's what I've been trying to do.
What's your end game?
Remove the nobles as they currently stand. Remove the current governor or whoever this person is in Brightstone. Bring down this folly that is Dustfall and give it back to the people.
Ah, Marley. Even when we were kids, you always spoke of revolution. I always enjoyed that part.
You always countered with, "We never have enough bodies." And it made me think for a long time. You're right. You're absolutely 100% right, as you always are. We did not have the bodies for this. Until I figured out we don't need the bodies. We need the spirits.
Let's say I'm interested. What's my role in all this?
What role do you want to portray? I don't pretend to even assign the great Miss Fritter a role.
You can stop calling me that. I appreciate it, of course, but you can always call me by my name.
I know, but I wanted to keep up the illusion.
Well, I've been in Crowsfoot a long time, and I feel like I've repaid a lot of my guilt and my debts to society. And maybe it's time for me to move on from Crowsfoot and do something else with my time.
I think you need to think bigger, yes. For every one you saved in Crowsfoot, another 2 fell by the wayside. Not your fault. Just the monotony and the grind that the nobles put us under. When we're given scraps, we're to fight like dogs. That's understandable.
May I ask you something that is tactless?
He smiles a big smile, and I think for the first time you see not fangs, but but sharp teeth, kind of as each one, as kind of a, it is a shark's smile as he kind of smiles. I wouldn't expect anything less.
The last time I saw you, your eyes were not like that. What happened?
At the gravesite, yes? Or before?
Before.
Before I was a mere man. Now I'm more.
Interesting.
I thought that if I was going to use spirits in order to bring down the nobles, I would use the same spirits to increase what I can do. And it's made me stronger. It's made me faster. I have abilities that I would never have as a man. This is what is needed. No half measures.
I'm glad to see you, Marley. I've felt without a friend for so long. And the past few days have been stressful. Can you tell me something, though? I'm worried about this boy. And I know he's a boy and he hasn't done much. But I want to know why he's being bothered.
The boy whose father is Eyes? That boy? Yes?
That boy.
Yes. He's nothing. He was a way to get to you.
That was all to get to me.
I
You could have just sent me a note.
I did send notes. We sent notes.
Oh.
I tried getting your attention in other ways. Do you think you were alone all this time? Just because you couldn't see me?
Okay. I'm game, Marley.
No half measures.
We need to drink to this. We never did anything without drinking, Marley.
I think he stands up with a speed that you are not ready for and spins around the chair and is like, absolutely, a drink. And he walks over and grabs a bottle of wine that he has, still corked. He brings over a cup, his cup to you and your cup, and he pops off the top, pours you some, pours him some, sets the bottle down, and picks up his glass. Says, to a new partnership.
Fritter picks up the other one, kind of takes a whiff of it as she kind of lifts it up towards her face just to see if she recognizes it.
It's a very exquisite, it
doesn't
is,
smell like it's laced with anything.
No, I mean,
it probably is, but it isn't. It's not obvious.
You also saw this was unopened beforehand.
Okay.
He slid his. I'm sorry, I probably should explain it. As he puts the bottle down, he took his hand, and what you saw was his hands actually kind of sharpened almost into claws at the end, and takes one of those claws and just rims it around the top of the bottle, pops the cork off, and so you hear that pop. You know that it was sealed. Pours it for both of you and says, "To a partnership,
to an alliance."
He cheers, and he immediately drinks.
She does too.
Okay. He says, "You're going to need a place to stay."
Have that house over in Brightstone.
That's not in your name anymore, is it? It was under Harlow's, yes?
Everything that was in Harlow's name is in my name now. I made sure of that before he died.
I think we kept that off the book. And to be honest,
really,
that's what's going to save you now.
Oh my God. I was always banking on coming back to that place.
No, it's yours. It's yours free and clear. It just is in his name. There's been some paperwork in the background I've taken care of to make sure it's maintenance and kept up. But nothing of any importance between friends.
All right, Marley. I'm gonna do what Harlow always said I needed to do. I needed to trust you.
His spirit's here still.
I used to think that, but recently everything stopped. It was like the first time you spoke into my head, everything about him died. It's like it happened all over again.
Then we shall find him again together.
No kids get hurt.
So he kind of looks, and if that's the price, it's well worth it.
Okay. She just reaches her hand out to shake his hand.
Okay. A large, overly large, pale clawed hand reaches down, and with a strength that you know he possesses that is far more than this fragile frame that he holds, he politely shakes your hand and probably pours another drink. And there's kind of, maybe I think he even moves the chair down by you, and kind of kicks back, and just he rambles and starts talking like you're the first person he's talked to in a long time.
Mhm.
And I would imagine Fritter probably is quiet, doesn't say much, is doing the kind of that kind of, you've had a long day, like it's a lot to process, but he just unloads all the memories, just like everything is you all when you were kids. Like he just continues that kind of train of thought.
Cool. Sounds good.
And the camera fades. All right. So we're back to the top. Second round here. Where does Preacher wake up, and how does Preacher feel when he wakes up?
Probably wakes up on the same pew and probably fucking miserable, I'm sure. But focused. He knows that some of the family have been going behind his back with Hezekiah. But he's not entirely convinced that they're the only ones influencing Hezekiah. I would like to start a project to see if I can figure out who is the real person leading my poor boy's strings now.
Sounds good to me. All right. So let's say, you already had a clock going, correct?
Not for this one, I did not.
But what was the existing clock?
It was to figure out who was behind all the things going on. I can't remember the name of the place we were just at, where the husks and everything were at.
Oh, Anchorhead Park.
Yeah, Anchorhead.
To figure out that. Okay, so we're gonna take a couple of that, because you've been talking with people, you've been asking questions, and I think getting that process started helps. So we're gonna do this as a 4-turn clock only. We would make it longer in most cases, but because your other clock, you already worked on it and didn't get that to completion before we actually gave up the plot line on that, I think it's fair to give that kind of to you moving forward. So we're going to call this a 4-turn clock. And this will be to find Hezekiah's mentor. So what are we going to roll to do this?
Well, I would like to go to Flint, the spirit trafficker. Considering Hezekiah's skill set, he might have some connections in the know to who might find his skills in particular useful.
Okay.
Especially if anybody's actually like connected to us in an ill-favorable way.
Mm-hmm.
Which I think that if they're going to take a child from somebody else's grasp, that they're going to use them against them. Really, I think I just need to speak with him. Should it be like a study or a gather information sort of check?
I mean, it could be a consort. A consort is consort with connections, your heritage, background, friends, or rivals to gain access to resources, information, people, or places.
Okay. Sure, I've got one whole pip in that.
I mean, if you would rather...
That's okay. I think this makes sense.
I mean, if you can tell me how you're going to study it, how do you study Flint?
I don't think I can word that in a way that would make sense, honestly. I can't bullshit my way through this one.
I'm trying to give it to you. I'm trying to give it to you. Study a person, document, item with close scrutiny to gather information and apply knowledge.
I don't see a way. And I'm okay with that. If I fail, I fail. That's not a big deal. Can I spend coin?
You can. To increase the effect or increase the die. You can
Yeah.
also you can push yourself. I'm totally cool with that. You can also get someone else involved. I guess you'll get an extra one because you're using Flint, which is one of your contacts. So you're
Okay.
going to start with 2. If you spend a coin, you can go up to 3.
Okay, I'll spend a coin. Because I have it in spares.
Or you can get a devil's bargain.
Oh. Yeah, let's do it. I haven't taken one in a long time.
So I'll tell you what the devil's bargain is first. You can choose it afterwards. Flint is you go to Flint because he talks a lot, but Flint talks a lot. If you go asking questions, he may be telling other people that you're asking questions, and for you, it's going to get back. If you succeed in finding out who this person is, they'll know you're asking about them at the same time.
Sure.
Okay, sounds good.
Okay,
So remember, on this roll, a 1 through 3 means 1 tick of the clock. A 4 to 5 is 2. A 6 is 3. 2 sixes is 5.
Okay. As far as bonus dice are concerned, I get 1 for Flint, correct?
Yes. So you
That-
should have 3 bonus die. If you're still, are you paying the coin or not?
Yes. Yes, I'm paying. the
Okay,
coin.
so if you're paying the coin, you're going to get your 1 that you get for consort. You're going to get your 1 for using your contact Flint. You're going to get 1 for the devil's bargain, and you're going to get 1 for the coin.
Oh, so 3 extra dice.
Or you can take one of those and make it increased effect instead. Like
no,
I'm cool with you if you want to pay the coin afterwards to increase the effect. So that would basically make it go to the next tier up.
Okay, let's do that then. So it's just
I
2
think
dice.
So it'll be 2 extra die.
Gotcha.
So you should be rolling 3 die, and then if you want to pay the coin to move up the effect, you certainly can.
Okay. We'll do that.
4. So 4 to 5 is 2 turns of the clock. You can pay the coin and make it 3 ticks of the clock if you so desire.
Yeah, let's do that.
Okay. Flint gives you some of the same information that Bogenreef gave to Miss Corbin, is that some noble is buying up plots of land and making big moves, and it's connected with these kids called the Needles. But who that person exactly is, he doesn't quite have a grasp on. They've been really good at keeping low on who they are and what their overall intent might be. But that is kind of the word on the street, and he knows. He says that he can confirm that Ezekiah has been running with the Needles.
So, when were you going to let me know about this, Flint?
He's your son. I thought you already knew. I thought you did this with your blessing. He did this with your blessing. The boy didn't come to me.
I'm not sure how he made contact with them or if they made contact with him.
They're all from Charter Hall. It's all college kids.
I know what happened to the last group of college kids that decided to get in and went over their heads. Found their way into a bunch of rain barrels that filled their head with water, drowned to death. Well, I suppose these kids, these innocents, I suppose if they're they've been banished from heavens, they have no choice but to become devils, do they?
Don't we all?
Do me a favor, Flint. Whoever's out there recruiting these kids from Charter Hall, you let them know that I'm looking for them.
Will do.
They'll know where to find me. Because Hezekiah knows where to find me.
Okay. I think you have a very serious look in your eyes, one that he probably hasn't seen in a long time. And I think he just kind of does that. Just, okay, Yep. Whatever you need. That kind of stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Anything else?
No, that's it for me.
All right. Good.
Quick and sweet.
On to eyes. Back around the spinning wheel
Indeed.
of doom.
Yeah. So
Or what we call downtime.
all right. Happy Wheel of Doom Day. So it's time to do some healing. But after my my last experience with Sturgill, I'd rather not go there.
Okay.
I kind of want to lean into, if I may, some of the supplies that Miss Corbin gave me upon her home visit,
Mhm.
and do a little bit of bed rest, if I may.
Okay. You absolutely, yeah, you do bed rest. I think maybe you wake up from a nap, like you wake up, and you ever just smile because you know what you're about to do is really, really mean. Sorry. You wake up from a, see that I tickle myself. All right, sorry. Serious, focus. You wake up from a nap and you've been out on and off for days, just a couple days just being left alone. It's just like that getting over sick
And
thing and
candle.
hurt. We'll go ahead and roll mechanically. Let's roll before this goes where I know it's going to go. Go ahead and roll. See where we're going to be.
Am I rolling
So
resolve?
it's because you're going to use supplies. You basically are going to roll. To do this to yourself. You're supposed to have Tinker, and the spirit, the physical thing.
Oh.
But you can also just take 2 stress and roll a 0 die roll. I think what we'll do, because you have the what we're going to call what Miss Fritter gave you as a bonus die, you would get it 1 die, and you're not going to take stress because you're at home, like
Okay.
convalescing. I think that's kind of fair.
Okay.
So
Cool.
it'd be a 1 die roll again. 1 through 3 is one pip, 4 to 5 is 2, 6 is 3, and double sixes is 5. But you can't roll double sixes because you only got 1 die.
Okay.
So you can spend a coin if you like to spend a coin. You can increase the
Yeah,
effect afterwards, or you can roll an extra die.
Hmm.
I'll give you the option. I always like give the option on effect for afterwards in case you want to bump it up. I don't want you to spend a coin you don't, unless you really
Let's
want
bump
to.
it. Let's bump it up.
Do you want the die?
I'll bump up the effect. Let's go
Okay.
high risk, high reward.
That's fine.
And see what happens. What should I do this?
Can you think of a way to bring anyone else in to get a second die?
To be honest, I don't want to, only because I don't trust none of you motherfuckers. So, actually, except for Preacher. Preacher's great. And he doesn't know. To be fair, I do trust. Meta Jacob doesn't trust Miss Fritter. Eyes is like, Miss Fritter's great. Has no reason to not. To be fair. Okay, enough funny business. I'll just do this guy. See what happens. I can't see anything.
It's a 4.
Okay.
Sorry, someone just shared something in the chat with me that blew my mind, so I had to make sure I read that twice.
Totally fine.
4. So
Hannah.
again, 4 to 5 is 2. You're going to be bumping it up to make it 6, so it'd be 3 ticks. Is that complete your progress clock?
Almost. I still have 2 more.
Hold on, no. On your healing clock only has 4.
Oh, okay, because it said it had 6. So yeah.
It had
that's
6. It
cool
should have
with me.
had 6 on a that should be a long-term project. Your healing clock is in the middle.
Oh, okay.
And I
I
think
created a clock. I think that's
okay.
probably
I think you already had 1 on it. So this
I did.
Yeah. Okay. So this wipes your healing out. Both your level 1
Yay.
harms go away. You don't have any level
Bye.
2 or 3, right?
No.
Okay. So you take a few days of strong sedatives and relaxation, and and you wake up and Joseph is there. He says, "Daddy, look, I brought you a sandwich and drinks and a napkin, just like you like it. I hope it's okay.
Oh,
It's like a mushroom and other mushrooms, and then I found some other mushrooms in the back, so I just made a big sandwich of it, and I brought it in here for you."
you couldn't. You know what? You couldn't even. You know what? I love you, man. You're the best, buddy. Thanks, man.
You know, I got to take care of you now.
It's your
So
turn. Yeah.
yeah, I
Things
mean,
get
you
awful.
know, yeah. Mom's not here, and she told me to take care of you before she left, and so I'm taking care of you.
Yeah. 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 How's it's been in and out, so I'm confident that I probably asked you this yesterday. But how's school going? You doing good?
Um, yeah. I mean, in general, yeah. I didn't go to school today or yesterday, and then I won't miss too much. I'm smart, and I'll make it up, so it
You are
won't be a
smart.
problem. Yeah.
Now,
I did
of course.
I didn't go because you were here asleep and mom's not here, and so I didn't have anyone to take me to school. So I just didn't go to school. I just made you mushroom sandwiches, and then I would get hungry and I ate the mushroom sandwiches, and then I would have to fix you another mushroom sandwich.
How often did you practice that, kiddo? How, like, just
The
that
mushroom
step by
sandwiches?
step? Nope. The story, which is filled with bullshit, but that's fine. It's
No, it's
totally cool.
mushrooms.
Touche. Touche.
I mean, I talk to myself a lot because you've been out for like a couple of days, and mom's not been around. A
Hmm.
couple of days since those people came to see her, and so
Yeah.
I just been hanging out, just making mushroom sandwiches.
Yeah. Yeah. What's your favorite mushroom?
Whatever one's on my plate.
I'd give you a high five, but it'll hurt, Dad. So
It
we'll
will.
just say that I owe you a high five. Okay?
That sounds good. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Do you
But yeah, go ahead.
do you
Go
know when
for it.
mom's coming back?
Um. No, actually.
Like the people in the blue coats, they came to talk to her, and she said to
Hmm.
take care of you,
Hmm.
and that she loved me, and that she would see me when she can. But I have not seen her.
Did she say when she would be back?
No, she was crying. I don't really understand. No.
Huh. Okay. Well, sometimes I've been on business trips. Sometimes mommy has to go on business trips.
Does mommy have business trips like yours?
Not quite on the same scale. Bit of a parallel. You know the word parallel, right, bud? You know what that means, right?
Is she working for the police? Because the police came, and they're the ones that came and got her, and and took her. Like, is she working for them? Is she like undercover for them?
I'm like completely like just selling, like no selling the entire like conversation.
Yep.
No, not quite. But to be fair, I'm not allowed to tell you.
It's top secret.
That's all I can say, bud.
I'm gonna need another mushroom sandwich for this. And I think
Oh man,
he
why don't you double up?
he kind of leaves the plate beside you and goes running out and very quietly slams the door. And you hear him run into where the kitchen area is and start rifling through things.
And I'll the moment of separation as his world is continuing to crash around him. Um, there is like the no selling and the grin just falls off, and he's kind of looking out into the city towards where she could be.
Okay, absolutely. All right, Miss Corbin.
Miss Corbin does a she's going to this is going to be in the thing of a stress relief, but she's going to do her dream smoke and then get an idea what she needs to do tomorrow. So the scene will be then she wants to go pay a visit. She wants to visit that chess parlor. She has some business she needs to take care of.
Okay, sounds great. Go ahead and roll up your indulge your vice.
4. Okay.
4. All right. And so what was that? What does that leave?
Just 1.
Okay, 1. All right. So we're going to go back to Hannah. I think the scene cuts from eyes looking out the window, maybe cuts from there, and is now the scene slowly fades to what he may be looking at, which is a blue coat precinct not far away, and I believe a young woman walks Darlene to a holding cell, and just says, "Ma'am, I'm sorry. They brought the charges. Let's see what happens. I have taken your story down, and I'll get we'll get back to you as soon as we can." And I think she asks Darlene. She makes her comfortable and like sets her in a cell and says, "But quite honestly, it looks like they're going to want an immediate transfer to Iron Hook Prison until you await trial. It's real bad." And so she closes the cell behind her, and then she walks back to her desk and sits down. What does she find at her desk?
So she's going through her desk. She gets she has an unmarked letter that doesn't even have a stamp on it. That's just addressed to her, and she knows that it is probably from a private investigator that she hired, and she's holding it and holding it and holding it in that way that someone who's about to do something that might completely change their life has apprehension. She slowly pulls a knife from her drawer, slips it through the back of the envelope, and there's 2 pieces of paper. The top paper, written in the rushed scrawl of her PI, is, "This is the only thing I could find." And behind it is a very badly photocopied birth certificate that says Baby Girl A on it. And under the mother's name, it says Pie Fritter. And under the father's name, there is just a single letter in the last name. Birth date lines up with hers. It's most likely her original birth certificate. And Kazi sits back in her chair as her hands tremble, because now at least she has a name.
So Kazi's a member of the Bluecoats. How long has Kazi been with the Bluecoats?
Kazi was an orphan and has been with the Bluecoats for all of her adult life.
One of those kids that kind of maybe formed a connection with someone else that led them both to school, both to become part of the society itself and to take care of others, and that seemed to be her calling, was the Bluecoats. Does she fall in line? I guess, what is her ideology with the Bluecoats? They have a bad reputation. Does Kazi feel like that's unwarranted? Does Kazi feel like it is warranted and something she's trying to change? Does Kazi care at all?
Kazi really wishes that the Bluecoats could be more on the level, but she is dissatisfied with the type of corruption that she observes on the regular. So Kazi has a violence streak that she finds to be somewhat incompatible, because she feels a lot of anger towards people that they are corrupt, like have these corrupt beneficial relationships with. Those are the people that she wants to knock their knees out. So she doesn't get on as well as she thought she would with the Bluecoats.
Okay. So we'll introduce more about Kazi later on and see how she fits into this puzzle. For now, do you want to do anything mechanically? Do you want to train? That would just give you a bonus pip in whatever attribute you wanted to, or you can use what the crew has as far as prowess, and we'll give you 2 pips in prowess if you so choose.
Sure.
Okay, it's just something mechanical to use.
That'll work.
All right, so I think the camera fades out to Darlene sitting in a cell, trying to figure out what's going on. Maybe I think she's cried her tears. She's trying to figure out what's going on and how this happened. And Kazi sitting at her desk, trying to figure out for her own self what has happened and what this means for her life. Do we have a third? I know we have to have a third from Miss Corbin. Who are you going to use your third downtime, or are you going to give it away to someone else? You're muted.
Oh, if anyone else has one, I can just set that one to start the mushroom thing.
Are you all okay with that?
Yeah,
Okay.
it's fine because I was gonna burn some coin to do a third one anyway, so
That's
I'm
fine.
cool with that.
So I think you make preparations. Miss Corbin uses some coin, small, doesn't matter, coin.
Mm-hmm.
Are you putting this mushroom? Are you putting it in the hideout? Or are you putting it somewhere else?
I would say yes. We'll just keep until we can find a more secure place for it. Specifically.
Okay. Sounds good. So what does it look like as you... Does Miss Corbin actually... does she get her hands dirty and bury this herself, or does she have someone else do it? I can see it going both ways.
I think for now she's going to do it herself because at this point she doesn't want it getting out like where it is necessarily.
Very secretive.
I mean, she'll tell the crew, but
Right. Okay.
getting outside.
So she asked for preparations. She asked for the assorted things she needs, pots or whatever.
Yeah, I think
you wanna put it
she
in.
talked with that was maybe part of it with Bogan Reef is
Yeah, how to
care.
do it, what to do. Yeah,
Mhm.
he waxed poetically on for a long time about it, and you basically picked up the main inferences of what you need to do. So that's not a problem.
Mhm.
Okay. I will say, I may put a stipulation. I want to think about it, but in case your first roll is a 1, I will say that may do something. I may have an issue with the mushroom.
Okay.
Like when you roll a 1, I think it's going to because this is not what you all do. I think it could have an effect, but let's talk about that offline and kind of see if we can work something out.
Okay.
All right. Anything else for that?
I think that's fine. I mean, we'll spend the coin. I'll spend the extra coin too.
Okay. So let's roll that up. And because you need to get 4, basically gonna have a 4 turn clock. I say turns. 4. Damn it.
Mm-hmm.
It's funny. So I watched. I listened to the Magpies and their amazing show. I mean, if you listen to podcasts, you like Blaze in the Dark, look at the Magpies. They're awesome. And Reed does such a great job explaining it. In my head, I'm like, oh, that's the word I should have used. And I always go like, oh, that's the word I'm going to use. And it comes to time for me to do this. The words, they don't get used. Anyway,
I think you
Magpies are
use
awesome.
great words, Nathan.
I use the bet. No, I don't want to go there. I use great words. All right, moving right on. So thank you very much. So, Lynn, what are you going to roll to see if we get in this clock?
I think it's gonna have to be
I can see study,
Yeah,
survey,
maybe study.
even something physical like finesse.
I think study. She's
okay.
going to put most of her efforts in making sure everything kind of lines up once you have the right information on there.
Yeah,
So
no, I think that worked great.
okay. Do I get anything from help with Bogan Reef?
Yes, you get an extra die because he is.
Okay, cool.
You've incited his name.
Okay, and I will put that extra coin as effect.
Okay, you can
Setting.
make that choice once you roll and see what the effect is, and make a choice to upgrade it.
Okay, let's see, extra dice. Come on.
I'm gonna be rolling some study here. It's
4.
a 4,
Okay, that's
so
fine.
that's
4.
that's 2.
Mm-hmm.
If you like to increase the effect, then make it 3.
Sure, why not?
Okay. So we're at 3 out of 4 on our mushroom farm.
Mm-hmm.
Mushroom man cometh. All right. Anything else?
I mean, just the thing at the parlor, but that's it.
Oh, yes. We'll do that here in just a second. All
Yeah.
right. So,
But yeah.
eyes. Would you want to pay for a third?
I do.
Okay. And what's this third?
I'm following up with Loretta.
A couple of days have passed. This is kind of, instead of flashback, this is flash forward. You come to her and she you know where to go down the library, down the in Ancat Park, and she meets you outside this time, and she says,
I was actually going to if you'd let me know if she feels comfortable with this. I think it's appropriate for us to meet at Dos Gatos, because that's where, even though I wasn't around, faculty-wise, we met at Dos Gatos.
Okay. Yeah, she's fine with that. So she meets you there, and she says, as promised, and slides over. She slides over. I'm gonna say it's a pouch. It's a hard case pouch that you can see. Looks like contains glasses. She slides this over to you and says, "This is the best I can do with what I have. They're made for you."
Is this a replacement?
No. Sorry. I have been working days. This Marlowe has the ability to not be seen by normal people. He can make people just unsee him as if he walks right by them. With these lenses, you will know where he is. You will be able to see him. And that will give you a distinct advantage no one else has.
Thank you.
Just a word. He siphons the spirits around him. He siphons them for his power. That's why I don't allow any spirits around here.
Good to know.
Good luck.
Anything else I should know?
If I can think of it, I'll let you know.
Is there some part of you that this is me doing this, me going after him? Do you have any feelings about that? Is it personal in any way?
She does the big heavy sigh. No, nothing personal. My life has been his anytime he wanted to come claim it. Do I think that you'll be able to take his life? I don't know. But either way, I have other work to do.
Yeah. Speaking of that, what is the other work that you're trying to do?
Trying to figure out how to repel spirits from the containers that they're in, such as those that are in your eyes, and those that are contained within Marley. Sorry.
You know, my cohorts are going to be pretty pissed when they realize I let you go.
You mean I'm not dead? And she kind of gives you the side eye look, like that's an option, you know.
Yeah. Yeah, it is. And I throw a knife right at her gullet.
Okay. There's that.
Oh no, no, my headset fucked up again. What a terrible time. Hold on.
Man, you all.
Yeah, so sorry I didn't hear what you said.
I just had another speechless moment that I. Okay,
I need to roll for it.
no, I don't think so. I don't think that makes sense.
So,
I think if this is your intent, you are enough of a professional, and she's enough willing
yeah.
to be okay with it. I think she doesn't cry out. She just
I just say like as like her life force leaves, I'm just like, I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. I made a promise.
I think you hear her say deserved. And then she passes.
I stay for about a minute, just like and I walk out the door.
Okay. Miss Corbin, you wanted to have another scene? Also, take your coin back for that. That wasn't a mechanical benefit. That was kind of a free play scene. So if you paid a coin for that, there was no mechanical benefit for a downtime. So take your coin back on that one. Just these free play scenes, I think, are perfectly
Could
fine.
I say? Because I don't know, man. Could I say? Can I remove like 2 stress, 3 stress? I have 5. I don't know.
I don't think so.
Okay.
I think you just killed someone in cold blood. I don't think you can. I think other personalities would remove stress. I'm not so sure it's not
That's
added
cool.
stress.
I respect
so
that.
I'm going to leave it at 0. I'm going to leave it
Alright.
at a no gain on
That's
that one.
0.
Okay.
I feel like that's
That's-
a not so subtle dig.
No digs.
Some
No
of
digs.
us would.
No digs. I'm just saying I expected that of some people. I did not expect that. But I also don't think I don't think that eyes would be relieved by doing that. If I thought that it relieved you of something,
No.
I think de-stressing would be totally cool.
Yeah.
I don't think that eyes that relieves eyes. And you tell, am I wrong?
No, you're not wrong.
Okay. All right then. We'll leave it at that.
Cool.
All right, Miss Corbin. Where do we find Miss Corbin?
She is at the chess parlor that she knows she'll find Farnsworth.
Are you there? He's a creature of habit. He's there all the time. Same time, same day, same everything. Are you there before or after? Like, is he already in mid chess form, or are you waiting for him?
I think she'll come in like at the point where like someone's like cleaned up his opponent and just like has left, and there's a
Okay.
vacant seat.
Okay, so he is sitting down with a drink in hand, kind of mulling over. He's kind of, I think he's actually got his head down, setting up his own pieces and getting them back in place. And you slide into the chair across from him.
And she'll take her pieces out and just start setting it. Well, I do miss our little sparring at the meetings. I thought maybe you've gone ill, but God, I have something for that right here. What do I have? And she'll take out like a bottle with like the mushrooms. Like, maybe some of this in your tea would be very well.
I think he looks up at you, and a lunk of anger and just anger comes across his face, and then he kind of reins it back in. Well, I didn't know that you played this sophisticated game.
I've considered it quite the relaxing hobby. Am I wrong? She'll point
Oh.
at the mushroom.
Yeah. I don't know what that is. Why? It's a mushroom. What do you?
Please.
Please, what? What are we discussing here? And I think with that, he makes the first move in the chess game. And I don't know chess. I'm not gonna say what it
Yeah.
is. He makes
Yeah.
some one of the typical moves that you would see
Mhm.
someone moving that had played this game forever and almost think of their opponent as not as good as they are. So probably a quite obvious move.
Mhm. We have a little habit of you starting something and me having to deal with it. You starting something. You get to maintain your equilibrium here, and I don't get to do what I want. And that's how you plan things, right? Have things under my nose, something perhaps in the college, certain startups, whatnot.
College. Yes, college. Is that the college you forged your way into? That
Oh,
college? Charter Hall, yes?
oh, I assume everything was on the level. Of course, I attended and got proper grades with that. So,
Yes, yes, yes. I'm sure you did.
mm,
I will go down to the college every once in a while to find up and comers who are down on their luck and need a helping hand. Someone who, maybe someone who needs a mentor. You know,
oh, of course, I know it's good to find help and good talent there.
exactly.
You know,
Good
academia
talent.
doesn't pay necessarily what it deserves, and talent goes to waste sometimes, right? Correct?
These poor college students, are so full of ideas and vigor, and they just need a hand to guide them sometimes.
And you're that guiding hand, I suppose. Just for the goodness
Well,
of your heart, of course.
I think you make a move and he makes another counter move.
Hmm.
He says, "Sometimes I find if I have the time that I will go down, and if a bright young pupil catches my eye and I'm able to think that I can help them get ahead in this world, I will certainly try." Um,
And is a certain Ezekiah part of this? Bright boy. Little aimless, but bright.
Bright boy, but aimless. Hmm.
Little chip on his shoulder, something to prove, perhaps.
Now that could be anyone. That could be anyone down there.
Yes.
I'm afraid I don't know this Ezekiah.
Well, if you cross somebody like that, I would say they are off limits.
Are they now off limits?
Off limits.
And by whose rules are these? Whose rules are we playing?
House rules, of course.
Yes, but who owns the house?
That's the game, isn't it? Who owns the house? And how long are we going to be doing this little back and forth, like with the hive? I assume you've had leverage on them. Took a while to get that detangled. And now I suppose you're starting something new here.
That
And
sounds very industrious. Yes, sounds like something I could be doing.
and suppose you like keeping certain competitors busy while you do your machinations.
You know, the hive has gotten stale, and it seems they'll let in. Well, they'll let in just anyone now.
Yeah, I guess I suppose so. I also see that no nobles were in there. Were you the short straw to represent the council on this? I
Oh,
wonder.
there's a stab. There's like a literal. I think he makes a move in the chess game that he shouldn't have made,
Hmm.
and takes his hand off of it before he means to, and makes a mistake, and is like, and kind of, you see it across his face that now he's screwed up twice. He's like, short straw. No, they needed someone to guide them, but I'm
Oh,
afraid I can only do so much with the rabble that
that's.
they've provided.
Oh yes. Does it feel? Does it feel better to be a small fish in a small pond rather than swimming among leviathans in the ocean? I suppose I could see the benefit, Lord Power over here.
I think the think about it is when you don't need to be a leviathan if you know how to kill them.
Oh, I know. Yes, yes. Ownership of Leviathan. I know all about that. Well, I know we had this little agreement, correct, about all under the table.
I mean, yes, that's fine. I am. I'll tell you first. I have no issue with it. I will be absconding my seat from the hive and leaving the machinations of whatever it is you all decide to do. I have put in my resignation, and you all can fill it however you will.
Oh, you're
I
going back to the council then.
No, I have other plans.
Well, good.
And
Because
go ahead.
on my end, I no longer feel I should agree to that agreement and have let information slip. Oh, I've kept very good records of your little dalliances, and you know what? I'm pretty sure certain people in Brightstone would be wonderful to have that information. I mean, it's not 100% as you've kept very good, clean alibis and here and there, but rumors are good enough for a little while, so I hope you have pleasant time explaining it.
Well, I guess you play your game and I'll play mine, and we'll see who comes out on top.
Of course.
As for this Ezekiah you speak of, I do not know this person. I have a mentor that I'm working with, a mentee I'm working with now anyway. And so if someone were to come across this person, I would have no interest in them.
Okay. Well, I guess we'll see then.
I think he before you can like get up to leave, he stands up to leave, and he says, "Zephyr, let us go." And a young man gets up from a table, a couple tables down, and turns around and gives a start as he sees you. As Ezekiah looks back at you.
And she'll just smile. She'll wave at Farnsworth and loud enough. It's like, well, much love, Father.
I think he tries to ignore you as best as possible as he walks out with Zephyr on his heels.
And she'll smile a little bit at Ezekiah as well.
He definitely gives you the side-eye glance, like, what in the hell are you doing? But walks after Farnsworth as quickly as possible.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Anything else?
Yeah.
Anything else anyone else needs?
I'm heartbroken. That's all I just need to say.
All right. If there's no other downtime actions, we will talk offline about the next score. I think we have a couple of options, and I'll provide one to you all, or you can provide one to me, and we'll figure it out. But on episode 7 of Embers in the Ashes, we will once again jump back into a score, and a good time will be had by all, I'm sure. But for now, I am Nathan. I'm at Not Another Nate on Twitter. Use he, him pronouns, and I've been their narrator for tonight. And thank you so much for joining us. I'll let everybody go around and say who they were, where you can find them, and just want to thank you all for watching the show. Makes it really fun to come out with this group and RP and hang out and play. But also knowing that we're putting on a show for you all as well kind of helps. So I want to thank you all for watching here, for on Twitch as a VOD, so on the YouTube, wherever you watch, wherever you take this in. Feel free to shout at us, tell us things that you like or didn't like, or what we need to do, or what you think is going to happen. Spoiler alert, I don't know that anybody knows. But feel free to make your best guess as possible. I'm Nathan. Let's go about in reverse order of what we started with, which would mean Saevrick would lead us off next.
Okay, hi. Once again, I have been Saevrick, or Josh. I have been your player and your best friend this evening. What do we have? Gosh, it's Wednesday now, right? Sorry, I've been on staycation all week, and I have no idea what day and time it is.
Well-deserved staycation.
So Friday, we are going to be premiering a new Dragonlance short series over on So Many Games channel, Death Knights of Krynn. I'm very excited to get into that. I think it starts at 8 p.m. Eastern time. I could be wrong, but you just check Twitter. We're sure you'll find it somewhere on there. Otherwise, Saturday at 7 p.m. Maybe. it's been kind of up in the air the last couple weeks, but we'll be continuing our Star Wars Saga Edition game. Looking forward to that. It's getting close to its conclusion, actually, too. So I've got several games here that seem like they're about ready to end. So it's going to be kind of weird. Yeah, other than that, I have nothing else going on. So I will pass it on to the next person.
All right. And was that Lynn?
I think that was me.
Was it? Okay, Hannah. Okay. Yep.
If we're in reverse order. Hi, I'm Hannah. You can find me on Twitter at SouthLittleWoman. I play in all of those games that Josh just listed. So that's pretty much it.
Easy enough. All right. And who was next?
Hey, I'm Lynn, Flanksters on Twitter and Twitch, where you can see my art, and I have a list of the games I play throughout the week on for TTRPGs, and you can catch me actually on my own channel, twitch.tv/Flanksters, where on Sundays it's chill Gundam time. We're building a Death Scythe Hell custom Gundam. I'm just kind of chatting and playing through Neo 2 and Dishonored for just kind of had the hanger because of this game. And it's all sneaky and stabby, so should be fun.
Awesome. Thank you. Go ahead.
All right, hey everybody, Jacob here. You can find me on Twitter, Instagram, Duval King Jacob. I also have a link tree where you can click on some links and find out whatever I'm up to. So let's see. Today's Wednesday. So big, really cool thing that I can finally talk about on Rock Punch ATL's Twitch channel on Friday at 9 o'clock Eastern time. I will be hopping into Tolus, which I think is an old 3.5 big ass awesome module, and I'll be playing a kobold blood hunter named Blurg. I'm really excited about it. Art's supposed to come out tomorrow, and I'm gonna lose it. So come check that out on Sunday. Duval and Dragons, 7:30 p.m. Eastern time. Twitch.tv/SoManyGames. That is the game that I run. So go and check that out. And that's all for the week, which it's still a lot because I'm a madman. So oh my god, what a surprisingly emotional game.
I'm shocked and appalled that we got surprises, but I guess from our point we're good to go. Saevrick, go ahead and whatever you want to end with.
Okay. I don't really have anything else I can think of other than what Jacob usually says every week. So, which is Black Lives Matter.
Back to that. So, just in case you forgot, Black Lives Matter, and they will always, every day, forever and always. And trans rights are human rights. So don't fucking forget it, or I will send eyes after you. No big deal. And Hannah, who are we saying fuck you to today?
I think the entire state of Missouri.
Piers Morgan.
Yeah. Yeah. Agreed.
Look at that stupid waffle stick piece of shit. I can't deal.
I have one too. Fuck crypto art. It sucks. All of it sucks.
That's amazing. That's a new one for me. I love that.
Oh god.
Nate, do you want to shout a fuck you to anybody?
I if I started, I couldn't stop. So we'll just y'all's are great. We'll leave it at that.
I love that. That's our outro. That makes me so happy. Cool.
All right. Well, I guess with that, we will catch you all next time. So peace and love, and take care of one of each other. Bye-bye.
Bye.